Hello, students. I am J.S. Pandey, PGT Economics. Today, we will discuss about the methods of collection of data. There are two methods of collecting data. First one is primary data, second one is secondary data. Methods of collection of primary data. First, direct personal investigation. The direct personal investigation is the method by which data are personally collected by the investigator from the informants. These are suitable for the area of inquiry where it is limited, maximum degree of accuracy is needed, direct contact with informants is necessary, secrecy of information is significant, data are required to be original, and its merits are: it is more accurate, it is original in nature, it is reliable, it is uniform, it is elastic, and it presents related data. There are certain demerits also. First one, difficult to study vast areas, costly, personal bias, and complex in nature. Second method of collecting primary data is indirect oral investigation. Indirect oral investigation is the method by which information is obtained orally from people who are expected to possess the necessary information and not from the persons regarding whom the information is needed. Suppose we want to know the information about the person A. If we are asking to person B about the person A, this is called indirect investigation. It is suitable in case of the field of inquiry is large, where direct contact with concerned informants cannot be established. Concerned informants are incapable of providing information due to illiteracy or ignorance. Inquiry is complex in nature. In these areas, this indirect oral investigation is suitable. There are certain merits of this type of collecting primary data. Number one, covers wide areas, cost effective, unbiased, simple, and expert opinion. There are certain demerits also. These are lack of accuracy, personal bias, doubtful conclusions. These are the certain demerits of the indirect oral investigation. The third type of collecting primary data, method of collecting primary data, is information from local sources or correspondence. Under this method, local persons or correspondents are appointed to different parts of the areas to be investigated. They collect information in their own way and present it to the investigator. These correspondents are trained to collect the information from the respondents. Radio and newspaper agencies generally obtain information about strikes, thefts, accidents, etc. by this method. It is suitable in the area of inquiry is large, high degree of accuracy, regular of continuous data are required, information is required by radio, newspapers, TV, etc. There are certain merits of this type of method of collecting primary data, that is wide coverage, inexpensive, regular information, suitable for a special purpose. These are the certain merits of this type of method of collecting primary data. There are certain demerits also. Lack of accuracy, no originality, biased, time consuming, lack of uniformity. These are the certain demerits of this third type of collecting primary data. Let us consider the fourth type of method of collecting primary data, that is information through questionnaire and schedules. Under this method, data are collected by preparing a questionnaire keeping in mind the objective of a study. A questionnaire consists of a list of questions pertaining to the investigation. There are two ways of collecting data on the basis of questionnaire. One is mailing method and another one is enumerators method. Mailing method, in this method the investigator has to prepare questionnaire first and mail it to the related person and get the feedback. It is suitable where the area under investigation is very wide, informants are literate and educated, when original list first and data are required, when it is compulsory by law to fulfill questionnaire. These are the area where such questionnaire type of method of collecting primary data can be used. There are certain merits also. First, economical. Second, wide coverage. Third, original and reliable. Fourth, free from bias. But it deserves certain demerits also. The demerits are lack of interest, limited use, biased, lack of accuracy, and it is inflexible. These are the certain demerits of this type of method of collecting primary data. Let us consider the second method, that is enumerators method. In this method, a questionnaire prepared according to the objective of study is taken to the informants by trained enumerators who help the informants in recording their answers. The enumerator himself approaches the informants with questionnaire and asks them questions which are called schedules. Enumerators fill the questionnaire himself after seeking information. Suitability, it is suitable. Area under investigation is large. Study requires skilled investigators. Informants are not educated enough. Personal contact is necessary when true and reliable answers are required for difficult questions. There are certain merits of this method, that is wide coverage, accurate and reliable, free from bias, personal contact, complete information. These are the certain merits of this type of method of collecting primary data. There are certain demerits also. These demerits are costly, time consuming, biased, and unsuitable for small investigations, non-availability of skilled enumerators. Here these are unsuitable. These are the demerits. Let us consider the qualities of good questionnaire. What is the qualities of good questionnaire? Numbers of questions, must be few, not more than 10 or 15 questions. They must be simple and clear and easy language. Proper arrangement of questions is necessary. No personal questions, no mathematical calculations type of questions should be added. Cross examination in the questions is also necessary. Instructions are also required about the questions. Pre-testing of the questionnaire. After preparing the questionnaire, it should be pre-tested in the local area and get the feedback. Let us consider the methods of collection of secondary data. First one is published sources. Government publications, first one. Government provides certain publications about the country's situation regarding the various facts. From time to time, we can gather informations from the government publications. Second one is semi-government publications. Third one is reports of committees and commissions. Fourth one is publications of international organizations. And fifth one is publications of research institutions. Sixth one is publications of trade institutions. Seventh, journals and newspapers. Eighth, annual reports of joint stock companies. These are the various published sources through which secondary data can be collected for the related matter and inquiries and results can be ascertained. The second type of source of collecting secondary data are unpublished source data. Sometimes research scholars, universities, trade institutions and labor bureau collect data but do not publish it. Such data are generally for self-use or office record. This unpublished data can be used as secondary data. The research made by the research scholars can be obtained from the university libraries and through various sources. Let us consider the limitations of and precautions of secondary data. Limitations of secondary data. What are the limitations of the secondary data? They may not have been collected by proper statistical techniques. These may not be suitable for the concerned inquiry. These may not relate to the present times. These may not have been collected according to a reasonable standard of accuracy. These may be biased and hence reliable. These are the certain limitations of the secondary data where the information cannot be suitable collected from the secondary data, sources of secondary data. Let us consider the precautions in the use of secondary data. What precautions you have to make while collecting secondary data from various sources of secondary data. First precaution, competency of the collecting agency. The data should be used only if these are collected by a reliable impartial, and competent agency, so the ability of the collecting organization should be checked. And second precaution is the suitability of objective data should be used only if the objective of the study as undertaken earlier matches with the objective and scope of the current statistical inquiry. And third one is method of collection. The investigator should study conditions of investigation. For instance, data collected during times of war may not be suitable to study an inquiry during time of peace. And last precaution, fifth precaution is accuracy. Accuracy of data should also be kept in mind. If the available data do not possess required level of accuracy, then such data should not be used. These are the precautions which we have to make clear and follow while using or collecting secondary data from the published or unpublished sources of secondary data. Now, in this way we have completed the chapter 2nd of statistics. You have to solve the exercise properly. If there is any problem, you may contact me. Thank you. Rest is well. In the next class, we will consider the third chapter called Census and Sample Methods of Data Collection. Thank you.